Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Synergistic CX podcast here on the CX channel, where CX professionals converge. I'm Eric Brooks, Vice President of Research Metrics and part of the core team here at the CX channel. With me today are Emil Sankov and Chris Oliveira, fellow members of the CX channel team. And today we also have with us an expert in customer experience, Lina Schölin, CEO at Better Business. Lina is joining us from Stockholm, Sweden. Lina, it's great to have you here. Can you tell us, please, a bit about yourself and your work at Better Business?
Yeah, well, at Better Business, we provide customer experience insights through mystery shopping, through various channels in all types of industries, and as well as loss prevention services. We give our clients insights on the customers through journey, impressions, and emotions. And our focus is really helping our clients to gain an objective view on the customer experience that provides concrete insights on how to act. And we are part of a group of companies. So we have 4 regional offices in Sweden, and our head office is in Stockholm. And we also have a sister company in Norway with 7 local offices. And we also have a franchisee in Iceland. And we annually conduct about 100,000 evaluations throughout the group of companies annually. And myself, I have been within the company for 20 years and as a second generation CEO for 10 years.
Fantastic. And just out of curiosity, because I'm sure our audience would like to know, what got you into this industry?
Good question, Eric. The thing was that I was doing education in Uppsala, where I was doing my last report, where I did market report, I would say, in how to gain shoppers into Better Business worldwide, as the name was back then. And after that report, it was a final part of my education. My mother, Veronica, who's the founder of the company, asked me if I didn't want to give it a year in the company. And I said no, but then she was very persuasive. So I gave it 1 year, and then I just fell in love with the business and the customer experience field. So here I am.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you. It's wonderful to have you on the podcast with us today. So today we'll be looking at our latest study using the ABSA methodology, that's aspect-based sentiment analysis, which is what we've been using here to study these various industries throughout our podcast series. And we'll be decoding the customer feedback. Over the past year, we've analyzed online reviews spanning many different industries, from pubs and bakeries to fragrance stores, car rental services, and luxury retail shops. And we've covered a different industry in each of our previous podcast episodes, and we're excited to step into this one. So today, we're exploring a retail industry that continues to thrive despite the boom of the online shopping and the digital world. And this is an industry I actually thought was going to get just crushed with the advent of the internet, and also as the Amazon Kindle started to creep onto the market, and the iPad. But that is the industry of bookstores. In the age of e-commerce and algorithms providing recommendations, traditional bookstores are challenged to offer something unique. They need to offer personalized service, inviting atmospheres, and knowledgeable staff who enhance the customer journey. And they're not just selling books these days, they're delivering an actual environment and an experience. So in this episode, we'll explore the findings of our analysis of reviews from across the world, and we'll break down the key drivers of satisfaction and loyalty. We'll highlight some service gaps and discuss how bookstores can evolve to remain not only relevant, but beloved in the fast-changing retail landscape of books. So in this episode, we'll explore the findings of our analysis of reviews from across the world. We'll break down the key drivers of satisfaction and loyalty. We'll highlight service gaps and discuss how bookstores can evolve to remain not only relevant, but beloved in the fast-changing retail landscape of bookstores. We'll be looking at our industry sample, and we'll go over the various star ratings that we've encountered across these reviews. We'll look at the critical review response time that we measure. We'll also take a look at the marketing mix, and then from there, we'll step into kind of the meat of the entire podcast, which is the customer journey and the steps and the activities and the touch points. We'll then get to our moment of truth, which is really the heart of everything, and we'll see exactly how this industry is performing in the customer's eyes. And then we'll have a look at the marketing mix funnel matrix. We'll go over creating a starter voice of the customer survey for bookstores. And then after that, we will meet the expert with Lina and really dive into a lot of the insights that she has to share with us today. And then we'll wrap up. We have a few different objectives today. One is to understand the digital influence and look at how these online customer reviews are shaping the perceptions of bookstores. We'll evaluate the engagement strategies and look at the various interactions and touch points. We'll look at how the marketing mix can be optimized. These online reviews give us typically great insight into the marketing mix, and we can see what customers really care about. And then we'll talk about ways to enhance the customer journey. And from all that, we'll derive some growth opportunities to help these businesses grow and maintain maximum customer return and customer satisfaction. Later in the episode, we'll also interview Lina, CEO of Better Business, and she will share how Better Business uses mystery shopping and other research methodologies to improve customer experience and employee engagement. As always, you can explore our full industry study about bookstores by downloading this month's Synergistic CX magazine for free at cx-channel.com. This month's magazine is titled Stories of Success, a new chapter in bookstore customer experience. And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever social media you use so you never miss a podcast. Let's dive right in, looking at our industry sample here, and Emil will take us through that. Emil?
Thank you, Eric. So let's start off with a brief introduction of the industry study sample. Our sample's worldwide geographic structure is separated into three primary zones: Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, Asia Pacific, and the Americas. Each zone is further down broken into specific regions, as you can see on these small pie charts to the right. And the composition of the sample indicates a relatively equal distribution of stores across the globe. So with regards to some sample parameters in that industry study, we selected a little bit over 6,000 bookstores and a little bit over 33,000 reviews, online reviews and ratings for those bookstores. This gives us a confidence level of 99.5% with a margin of error of 2.5%. Moving on to the star ratings. The star ratings in online reviews and ratings are a system that allows customers to evaluate the product, service, or business on a scale typically from 1 to 5 stars. What we can see with regards to bookstores is that there are clear regional patterns reflecting customer satisfaction fluctuations across different geographic areas. The APAC region scores the lowest on the 5-star rating, but it compensates with a 4 and the 3 stars rating. And this is quite interesting because compared with all the other industry studies that we have done, we normally see a 5-star rating and 1-star rating convergence, and the 4 and the 3 and the 2-star ratings are less represented. And this usually reflects the nature of online reviews and ratings, where customers are motivated by positive or negative experiences to provide feedback. But what we see here with the bookstores is that this is not the case with that micro industry. We do see a significant number of 4 and 3-star rating reviews. So again, going back to the APAC region, it has the lowest average score of 4.06 compared to 3.33 on average, and 4.33 on average and 4.39 for EMEA and 4.49, which is the highest for the Americas.
So Lina, our study shows that the customer sentiment here towards bookstores is overwhelmingly positive. Most of our previous industries, in fact, I think all of them, haven't scored this high, with an average rating of 4.33 out of 5, like we see here. So in today's age where online shopping dominates, this suggests that physical bookstores are actually doing something really, really right. So from your perspective, what makes the customer experience in a physical bookstore so crucial for competitiveness today? And what elements do you think set the best ones apart from the rest? How can someone maintain themselves at that top level?
Well, it clearly shows that the bookseller's expertise and that the personal interaction is very important for the customers. This is precisely why I see the reason for why the physical bookstore remains so important to the industry and the customers. Many customers visit the bookstore not just to buy a specific book, but to seek guidance and recommendations from knowledgeable staff who understands the different genres and reading preferences. They also often have a deep knowledge about the upcomings in terms of authors and book titles. And you might, as a customer, know exactly what kind of book you're looking for, but not maybe you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but you know what you like. So the personal interaction then becomes invaluable to receive specific recommendations based on your specific interest. And that type of information, I don't think maybe AI would be able to foresee. And so I believe it's a human interaction, passion for books, and the ability to guide the readers. I think that's the key, really.
And seeing that having that type of exchange with another person who is also probably excited about the same types of books you are, or at least understands the passion, that's a really important place to connect. Makes sense.
Right. Thank you, Lina. And let's move on to the critical review response time, or the CRRT KPI. This KPI measures how quickly a business responds to critical reviews, those of 1 or 2 stars. And as such, it is a key in customer experience management and customer relationship management, as it reflects the business dedication to addressing customer complaints and issues timely. So what we can see with regards to bookstores is that nearly 85% of negative reviews are left unanswered on the global scale, and only slightly over 13% of the reviews are responded within 24 hours. So just to explain the pie chart, the green area on the pie chart is critical reviews, those of 1 and 2 stars, being responded within 24 hours. We don't see fair and critical is only 2%. Those are reviews responded within 72 hours and more than 72 hours. And the big dark red area in the pie chart corresponds to the not responded reviews. And these are 83.8% to be more precise on a global level. If we dive into the regional distribution, we see that the picture does not deviate much. There is a percentage or 2 deviation from the average, but overall the picture is the same. We see a very high critical review, highly negative critical review response time KPI. And unfortunately, this is not anything unique to this micro industry. We see that across all industries, the critical review response time is on average on a global scope around 20%. So a lot of opportunities for improvement here with regards to engaging the customers with negative experiences.
Yeah. Lina, why do you think so many of these brands miss this opportunity? And do you think responding can really help to build trust and loyalty?
Yeah, it really does. I definitely trust it builds trust and loyalty and boosts brand experience and overall customer experience. And why I think that maybe companies do not respond to negative feedback is that they might be afraid that some of them are neglective, of course, that they know this is a cause and this is an eternal excuse, instead of just being curious how to maybe look over the possibilities to fix it. But organizational wise, it could be a matter of mandate. Staff working at customer service might not have knowledge about specific processes or details, so they don't have the answer. so they don't answer the questions with the fear of it creating more negative impact on the customer. Sometimes just a thank you for your valuable feedback, X we will look into, but I mean, you can't say that if you're not going to do anything, of course. But I do think that many companies do analyze the feedback and they work with the improvements, but they forget the responses are so important for the customer experience. But to summarize, I would say lack of time and routines. But I mean, in the best scenario case, it will be a professional response, which would strengthen the customer relationship and build trust, that not only to that particular reviewer, but to everyone else who reads it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is seems to be a common all of the industries that we've looked at, with the exception there was one recently, if I recall, that actually seemed like they were trying as an industry at least more than the others. But yeah, it's still remarkable how many companies just seem to just not even bother. Or like you said, they do bother, but they don't actually check the box at the end of responding back with something.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually had a client the other day that one of the objectives of one of the focus group was actually to understand the impact of responses online reviews had on customers. So if I had a very negative review, how customers would perceive the answer that was given by the brand. And actually the impact is quite good. Even a negative review, if it is well responded, it might be taken in consideration in a positive way by a customer that is actually considering that brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I personally tend to read the negative reviews and their responses more than I read the positive reviews. But
Same.
Yeah.
Same, absolutely. Because sometimes, if the review is very bad and the response is clearly just, trying to make an excuse that does not fit, you not trust that brand.
So here we will delve into the reviews a little bit deeper, and here we differentiate between the two broader groups of reviews with comments and rating-only reviews. And so the difference here is, and what we're trying to examine here is there if there is a notable difference between the responses, specifically the critical review response time KPI between the reviews with comments and the rating-only reviews, because the reviews with comments provide context. There is a verbal narrative which explains the situation. And what we do see is that the reviews with comments do get a little bit higher, well, not a little bit, but almost double the response rate, but still the response rate is very, very low. So even though comment-rich reviews have a slightly higher reply rate, the overall response times of bookstores remain critically low. And again, this is not unique to the bookstores. This is what we see over and over and over again. And diving even deeper into the regional scores, we see the same consistent performance, or rather lack of performance, as far as this KPI is concerned. All right. Next big topic is the marketing mix. And as we know, businesses often face challenges in aligning their marketing mix to the complex customer paths across multiple channels. And what we're going to do here is dive deeper into the marketing mix of the bookstores. So we will start with the marketing mix elements, and this chart here indicates the distribution of the element of the marketing mix and shows what do customers talk or care about. And we utilize the 7P marketing mix, which is an extended version of the traditional 4P concept. So the marketing mix that we are using includes the following 7 elements: product, price, place, promotion, and people, processes, and physical evidence. This model provides a more comprehensive framework for businesses to evaluate and improve their marketing strategy. And this is specifically and particularly more applicable to the service-oriented industries. So what we can see here, the very high-level picture is that customer review analysis highlight people, product, and place as the dominant factors comprising over 85% of all mentions in the online reviews and ratings. So here, before I move on, I just want to explain how we get to that distribution. What we do is we take the comments of the online reviews and we perform what we refer to as aspect-based sentiment analysis. We break down each review into aspects and sentiments. We associate the aspects to the elements and the features of the marketing mix, and we take the sentiments to qualify the predisposition of the customers and what is the sentiment of associated with what customers talked about. So that is that. Let's move on, and here we see the next level, marketing mix elements and features, and the features detail what do customers prioritize. So within the people, product, and place, which take up 85% of all conversations and all discussions, we can see that the top 5 features of the marketing mix are supportive customer service, almost 22%, book variety, a little bit over 15%, that is from the product element, then reading atmosphere from the place element, and lastly, the last 2 of the top 5 features are the bookseller expertise and the bookstore location. So this gives us a relatively good high-level understanding about what do customers talk about, what do they prioritize in their conversations, and what we should be focusing on in a deeper dive research exercises.
Lina, given that people and product variety and atmosphere shape most of the bookstore experience, how can brands identify and measure what the key moments of truth are in that journey? How can they focus on those particular elements and make sure that they're doing a good job? And what methods or approaches would you recommend to analyze those areas and turn some insights into some improvements?
Well, first of all, I will identify what in the business process and behaviors for each category in relation to your defined routines and set KPIs, and find the gaps in between the possibilities for improvements using both subjective and objective insights, not to mention a specific one. I mean, what's get measured gets done, and if communicated in a strategic and relevant manner within the organization, of course. But in addition, I would also say it's always good to keep your enemies closer. So what does the competition do? Where are their strengths and weaknesses?
Excellent.
Yep, makes sense. So let's delve into the marketing mix experiences. What we're doing here is we are actually adding the sentiment to the customer thoughts and feelings. And what we can see on this particular pie chart is that within the 3 cornerstone pillars in bookstores, people, product, and place, the negative experiences or amount to about 15% of all the conversations. So 15% of all the aspects score with a critical sentiment. So this shows some area for improvement. But if we go outside the top 3 marketing mix elements and look into price and process, what we can see here is that the fair attention and critical, or in essence, anything which is non-green in the sentiment area amounts to a little bit over 40%. So although people, product, and place do take the vast majority of the conversations, and this for the customer thoughts and feelings and the sentiment and relatively low negative sentiment is concentrated. If you go outside that area, we do see a lot of opportunity for improvement in price and process, and we'll delve into that in more detail later when we examine the customer journey. So to summarize the marketing mix analysis, some key takeaways. Number one, close the response gap for the negative reviews, and again, this is valid for all micro industries. Responding to negative reviews is critical, and bookstores is not exception. There's a lot of opportunities for improvement here. Strong focus on people, product, and place. 85% of all the conversations concern people or product or place. There's 15% negative sentiment, opportunity for improvement there, and I would add price and process with 40% negative feedback, a lot of opportunities for improvement there. Champion bookseller expertise and service. This is what we saw from the marketing mix structure. A lot of conversations are focused here, so that needs to be prioritized with regards to training the staff, and selection, ambience, and pricing goes into the same direction, just in a different element of the marketing mix. So overall, there are opportunities for improvement, and those opportunities for improvement are quite evident. We'll get into more detail as we progress with the study.
This is the end of part 1 of our 3-part episode here on the Synergistic CX podcast. In the next segment, we will explore more details of our bookstore study and discuss the customer journey map and the key touch points that drive loyalty. Remember that you can always find the details of our studies for free on our website, cx-channel.com. And you can also follow the CX channel on LinkedIn, YouTube, or your favorite social media platform. Be sure to press that subscribe button so you don't miss our next episode.